Your commentator is Ray Henley. Our Navy blasts its way forward on the road to Tokyo as American airmight and warships speed up the Pacific offensive to recapture Guam from Japan. At dawn, the first wave of the 3rd Marine Division churns toward the beachhead, to be followed by 18 more waves in trip-hammer precision. But the Japs fight back, caught in a crushing trap as our gallant leathernecks relentlessly push toward the beachhead. A landing barge suffers a direct hit. Again and again, our landing craft become enemy targets, but the assault increases in fury. Amid a hail of enemy fire, the dauntless Marines wade ashore to meet the enemy's savage defense. More barges sweep to the beach. Then tanks, artillery, and supplies closely follow. Now the faulty defense plans of Nippon's generals feel the power of America's armored might. The fighting is fierce and brutal. Our leathernecks brave minefields and hordes of unseen snipers to forge forward through jungle-infested terrain. There is danger in every step of the way as war-crazy, half-human Jap soldiers hide in well-covered retreats. The Japs wage a defensive warfare never before experienced in battle. No out in the open fighting as the frantic, unreasoning creatures attempt to make a last stand. Shoot them out, burn them out, but force them out of the fight, dead or alive. Another hard-fought victory for our Navy, Army, and Marines as Old Glory again flies triumphantly over Guam.
Your commentator is Ed Hurley. Paris, old world capital, center of art, culture, fashion, and fun, becomes a screeching, roaring metropolis as 50,000 organized French forces of the interior and hundreds of thousands more patriots answer the call to arms. From the underground of the Montmartre, the Montparnasse, the avenues, streets, and boulevards, a maddened people at last strike their heroic blow for liberty. For 4 tragic, uncertain days, French men and women shake off the shackles of 4.5 years of cruel Nazi bondage. A Parisian patriot attempts to rescue a fallen comrade. Germans and their mechanized might stand as targets before an infuriated citizen army. From out of the earth comes their long-secreted ammunition for guns and rifles to strike and strike hard at those who brought misery and despair to their city, their homes, and their loved ones. There's a wounded Nazi. Bullets crash the pavement all around him. He gave no mercy. He receives none. He attempts to fire. Then a direct hit stills him forever. Like a flash, a courageous woman of the FFI disarms him. His body is carried away, symbolic of the fate of Nazi rule. Hoping against hope, the Germans retreat through the city's famed boulevards, firing as they go. Angels of mercy defy snipers' bullets to tend the wounded. A Negro patriot feels the sting of Nazi steel. He is hurried to a first aid station as the fury of the assault increases. Despite the danger, none stay home. French resistance rises to untold heights. It's a fight to finish for all time the brutality of Nazi rule in Paris. Nazi supermen emerge, outblitzed, bewildered, in flaming contrast to their former arrogance. The Germans take a ghastly toll of French men and women, faithful to the end. French tanks and armored cars approach the raging city to rescue the rebellion, to fight the German garrison in the shadow of the stately and majestic towers of Notre Dame. Then United States tanks and men join in battering Germany's inner defenses. Delirious crowds flood the streets, overwhelmed with joy, screaming their happiness with a totally Parisian joy, with gestures for G.I. Joe. Nazi tyranny crumbles as its supermen are forced into the open, beaten, stunned, and afraid. Not since Bastille Day have the people of France celebrated such a victory. Wave after wave of American troops charge in as British and Canadian forces and armored equipment flank the city and its approaches. Everything that bears the hated swastika is blown and battered to bits. People hide behind historic monuments as German snipers continue to defy the rising tide of mass resistance. From rooftops, from basements, from windows, bullets screech in deadly thunder. Again and again, the Nazis barricade themselves in public buildings, but tanks can be used as battering rams, too. More prisoners pour out, more erstwhile rulers, now to feel the fury of French hate, now to cower as they made their defenseless prisoners cower. In the Place de l'Opéra, center of metropolitan Paris, collaborationists are seized, some with hair as blonde as their hearts are black. Women traitors are shorn of their fetters as the faithful hoot and scream oaths of hatred for their treason. The fury of the crowd increases. More collaborationists are ferreted out and dragged through the streets. Fists fly as patriots and police alike show their disgust and hatred for those who betrayed their brothers and their country. Cheers of the crowd reach delirious heights as General Charles de Gaulle, head of the French Committee of National Liberation, triumphantly enters the city. Here, the idiom that the French spirit never dies is personified by de Gaulle himself. Then, without warning, joy is turned to sinister tragedy. As the procession nears the Hotel de Ville, a machine gun barks from an apartment house opposite. Other machine guns and rifles fire from above. Pandemonium breaks out. The terror-stricken people scramble for cover or lie flat on the ground. Some dive under cars, trucks, jeeps, while every man with a gun or a pistol fires back. Thousands of pedestrians in the square stampede and fall flat, piled up 4 deep in places. There's shooting all over Paris, even from the shelters of Notre Dame. De Gaulle faces those who would destroy him, undaunted and unafraid. Another hail of snipers' bullets is met by return fire from the patriots. Men, women, and children of all ages join in the rebellion. More collaborationists are blasted from their hideouts, brought out in the Place de la Concorde, the Champs-Élysées, in every open square. Nazi prisoners are jeered and spat upon as the very dregs of humanity. The streets are red with the lifeblood of patriot, traitor, and Nazi alike. Paris is liberated. The march of triumph begins. Down the broad Champs-Élysées roll American tanks before high French and Allied military officials. Then, without fanfare, Supreme Allied Commander General Eisenhower appears as liberated Parisians go wild with joy. With General Bradley, he hears Paris roar its acclaim. Vichy France dies, unwept, unhonored, unsung. Free France is reborn. Its staunch hearts beat to the majestic tread of allied soldiers of justice, of freedom, of liberty.